Hello everyone, welcome back. Before we get going, I would just like to show you where I am today. You can see the background is different. I'm filming in my work stroke art studio, and let me just show you that this is sort of what I do when I'm not on YouTube. You can see some of my artwork up there, and yeah, one day perhaps we can share that as well. Before we start, I'd just like to show you what a gorgeous South African day it is here today. That beautiful blue sky. I hope everybody's very well, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you once again for subscribing to my channel. And I do wish you all a very, very happy new year, and I hope that 2021 brings you peace and joy and happiness. But whether or not that is your life at the moment, I'd love to work with you in 2021, and we're better together, that's for sure. Let's stick together and work through these problems that we have, and try and alleviate the suffering that so many appear to have. This is not a money-making channel for me, so I won't be asking for thumbs ups and likes and all the rest, but what I do ask you is, if you know of any person who's suffering like some of us are, please share my videos, and maybe I can bring a little bit of hope and comfort to them as well. Today I'm going to bring you the next episode in my book, Life After Depression, which I'm selling on Amazon, and I'm going to go ahead now with episode 5. Sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. Just by the way, if you haven't listened to the other episodes, go back and listen from episode 1 first, and it'll all make much more sense to you. Episode 5. After that episode, which I had not told anyone about, I knew I had to get some help urgently. I sought the help of yet another psychologist. She turned out to be my savior, and I was put onto new medication, which I would and will remain on for the rest of my life. Up until then, I had obviously been on lots of medications, but I don't think I ever really thought any of it would actually help me. I took it sporadically, I forgot to take it when I felt better, and sometimes I even rebelled against taking it. It was a huge adaptation to get used to the idea that I would stay on medication forever. I had to accept I had a disorder just like any other disorder. Diabetes, underactive thyroid, irritable bowel syndrome, any disorder you can think of. I had a disorder for which I needed daily medication to function normally. The issue of medication is a big one. I come across so many people who are suffering from depression and who've been told by a professional to take specific medication. Even if they take it, the minute they feel better, for some reason they stop. Do you not understand that the reason that you are feeling better is because you are taking your medication? If you had diabetes and you were put onto daily insulin injections, you would not stop the treatment as soon as your blood sugars normalized. Well, the same applies to medication for depression. Yes, I know it's difficult to get used to the idea, and yes, I also know that even in this day and age there is a stigma attached to taking antidepressant medications. But remember, the know-alls creating those stigmas are not the depressed ones. We are. You have to find a way to get your head around the fact that you will take medication for the rest of your life. I know that sounds like an awfully long time, but try doing that time without the medication and see how long that feels. Every time I meet someone who's been battling with depression for many years without any success or respite, almost without exception, I also discover that person has been self-medicating, changing medications, stopping medications, and so on. I cannot say enough how important this part of your healing is. Please listen to your specialist. He or she knows much more than you or I do. Also, please be aware that we all have different chemical makeups, and medication that suits me may not suit or help you. So don't ditch your psychiatrist because the first 2 or 3 types of medication he or she tried didn't work. It is sometimes a lengthy process. Just know that eventually he or she will find the right meds for you, and you will soon feel very much better. While we're talking about feeling better, this would be a good time to discuss that time when you have finally made the decision to seek help. See a psychiatrist and a psychologist and get onto medication and therapy. This is not a quick fix. Be prepared to go through a long healing process that could take quite a while. But remember that you won't feel this bad for the next year, even if it takes a year for you to get better. You will feel a little bit better every day, every week, and every month. During this time, you need to give yourself permission to sometimes feel less than perfect. Don't push yourself to rejoin the social set that you might have withdrawn from until you are completely ready to do so. Don't push yourself back to work. If you've had to stop until you are sure that you can confidently go through the day in a workplace without having an episode, don't go back. Throwing yourself back into work and life too soon can be like trying to walk barefoot with a gaping wound under your foot. Don't do it to yourself. Remember these words. Give yourself permission. That is going to apply to many things going forward. Allow this principle to apply to days when you feel tired, then have a rest. Days when you feel a bit low, allow yourself to feel that way and do something kind for yourself, like sitting in the sun, if you live at the coast, going and watching the waves. Doing whatever works for you, but being kind to yourself, not judging yourself, not feeling guilty for how you feel. Some days you may feel like you're not getting better. Give yourself permission to feel that way without being too hard on yourself. Tomorrow will be a better day. This is your healing process taking place. You don't need anyone else's permission to walk this journey. You walk it in the way that suits you best. Try making this a rule for your life, even in future years. Live for the moment. Live for the day. Even after you've healed and you find yourself having a bad day, don't dwell on it. Just give yourself permission to feel that way for that day, and that day will pass. After I got divorced, thinking this would definitely take a major part of my depression away, I did many things to alleviate the way I felt, always looking for something to make me happy. I even got involved with a married man. It resulted in a lot of heartache, but once again, I learned a lesson from it. Goodness, my life seems to be full of lessons. I will never again be so quick to judge anyone who errs. There's no doubt in my mind that it's morally wrong to become involved with another person's spouse. Even if it is as innocent as phone calls, text messages, etc., it definitely is a recipe for heartbreak. But don't judge those who find themselves in that situation. I know it's not a place we purposely put ourselves in. It happens without us even realizing it. You open your eyes and you're involved. You're having an affair. You are somebody's mistress. Be careful not to say that will never happen to me about any situation. I said that. I used to be very self-righteous about such things, thinking if I ever found myself in such a situation, I would just turn around and walk away from it. In the days when I said that, I didn't know what it felt like to be really vulnerable and in desperate need of attention, no matter whom the attention was from or how wrong it was. But I was still in the middle of a life of depression. Surely I would eventually find something that worked, something or someone who could make me really happy. I would just have to keep on looking. After all, this was my problem, and only I could fix it. Well, that is the end of episode 5. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing this part of my book again. A lot of what I put in the book and what I'm sharing with you now is raw, and it's not always pleasant for me to share. But I want to share it with you. And it's important for me that you know that you'll go through lots of things in your healing, but you will eventually be healed. You will eventually find tools to use, things that can get you through the day and make your life a happy life. Until next time, bye for now.